In today's video, we're going to explore what's new with the home screen on the iPad with iPadOS 18. Specifically, how we can now move our apps around anywhere we want. I call it a flexible icon grid. We're also going to look at how we can turn app icons directly into widgets. Basically, we can resize the app icon, make it larger, and when you do, it'll turn it into a widget. And then we can also hide and lock apps. Let's take a look at what's new with our home screen on the iPad with iPadOS 18. Now, before we get started, if you like this video, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the home screen options we have with iPadOS 18. Let's go over to my iPad. All right, let's first take a look at how we can move around our app icons anywhere we want on the iPad. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go into the jiggly mode. So I'm just going to tap and hold in this area here. And when I do, we get into the jiggly mode. So we can move around our apps. This is nothing new. But now what I'm able to do is move these around anywhere I want. In the past, when I moved an app, what it would do is it would move all of the apps in the upper left-hand corner. Just kind of stuck them up there, or sorted them up there. So when I go and move this app down here, watch what happens. What it's going to do is move everything over to the upper left-hand corner. But if you look, you're going to see that this app icon here is sitting by itself. In the past, what it would have done is it would have moved it right up here, or it would have moved it here. It would have moved it into an open spot where it sorts to the upper left-hand corner. So now basically what we're able to do, I'm going to take FaceTime here and move it down. Basically what we're able to do is just drag these around where we want. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. When we want a space in the upper left-hand corner, let's say I don't want to have anything here. I'm actually going to go to the next screen. I don't want to have any of these apps up here. How can I move them down here? Watch what happens when I try to do that. So I go into the jiggly mode, and I'm going to take news, and I'm going to move it down here. But watch what happens. I take it down there, and all of these apps move back up here. Remember how I said that's what it does? So how can I create an empty space up here? Well, essentially what we need to do is just kind of move them individually. Move them one at a time. So it's a little bit of work. Maybe this will change in a future update, but basically what I need to do is I just need to move these down one at a time. And when I do, what it'll do is it'll allow me to then move these over. It's like that little slide game that we used to play with when we were kids. So I just drag this down, and I drag this one down, and you can see I'm just moving them down. And when I do, you're going to see they're still kind of moving around, but eventually I'm going to get to the point where I can move, keep doing this here. Eventually I'm going to get to the point where I can move those down. So I just keep going here. See, it's a little bit of a game, but I am able to do it. Let's move these over here. Whoops. Move this over here. And it's like that little slider game that we used to play with. So now I can move this down here. So it's a little bit of work if you wanted to clear up an area up here. But you can do it. You just have to move these around individually. When you are done, you just tap on it. And now those app icons are there. So that's how we can place these app icons anywhere we want. The next thing we're going to look at, new in iPadOS 18, is how we can resize our app icons. So I have the clock app here. What I would like to do is make that larger. Basically, all you have to do is just tap and hold on it. So I'm going to tap and hold on it. And then you're going to see a little section there where we can go and resize it. Now, depending on the app, you might have more options here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap on this circle here, or this square, I should say. When I do that, we can see that the app icon got larger. So that's basically all we have to do. If I wanted to make it smaller again, I just tap and hold, and then I tap on this here, and when I do, it brings it back to its normal size. Let's take a look at this with the weather widget. So now I just tap and hold, and you're going to see I have more options here. The weather widget allows me to resize it in different sizes or more sizes. And again, basically what it's doing is it's turning it into a widget. So let's just go through these 3 different options here. So I just tap on this one here, and we're going to see that it's a little bit larger. Now I tap and hold. That's a nice size for the iPad, I think. And then we go over to this one here, and you're going to see that it's going to bring it into a more of a widget size, where we have our forecast. And then I tap and hold on it again, and we're going to go to this size here. And when I do, it's going to get larger. Now, being that this is a widget, what we're able to do is edit the widget. To do that, this is nothing new. This has been around for a couple of years. When I tap and hold on a widget, we have an option to edit the widget. When we edit the widget, depending on the widget that we have, what I'm able to do is set the location or change any of the data in there. In this case here, it's a location. If it was a reminders app, I'd be able to set the reminders list. So I'm just going to bring that back over to its original size. Actually, let's just bring it up a little bit larger. So I just tap and hold, and we go over to this icon here. I like that size for the iPad, especially for the weather widget, and I'm going to bring it up towards the top. And again, I can place this anywhere I want, and then I just tap on an empty space to close it. Now you may have seen that we had a little arc there where we can actually drag and resize it as well. This is another way of resizing it. So I'm going to go back into the edit mode for that widget. And when I tap and hold on it to where it's jiggling, let's go ahead and tap and hold until it jiggles. You're going to see that there's this little arc here in the lower right-hand corner. Instead of tapping on those little icons, what I'm able to do is just drag that, and then I can resize it manually. So I just drag it however large I want it. So we can resize an app icon that way as well. And again, you just tap anywhere, or you can tap on done in the upper right-hand corner here. Sorry about being cut off on the screen. And now I just tap anywhere, and it applies those changes. So that's how we can easily resize our app icons. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how you can lock and hide apps. Maybe you have an app on your iPad that you don't want anyone to access. You hand your iPad off to someone, but you don't want them to access a specific app. Well, what we're able to do is lock apps. It's going to require, in my case here, Face ID to unlock it. So when they tap on it, it's not going to open. We can do that with basically any app. I'm not going to say all apps, but basically any app. I couldn't do it with the Contacts app as an example. But in addition to that, what we can also do is we can hide it. So then it's not even on the home screen, and it's not even in the app library. Actually, it's in a hidden folder. You're not going to be able to see it without using Face ID. Let's see how this works. So I'm looking at my iPad here, and let's first take a look at the Files app. We're just going to take a look at how we can lock an app. Now, what I have found out is when it's an Apple app, all we can do is lock it. We can't actually hide it. So we'll take a look at hiding here shortly. So I have the Files app. It's an Apple app, and to lock it to where it's going to require Face ID, all you have to do is just long press on it, and then you're going to see a contextual menu, and one of the options here is Require Face ID. So when I turn that on, let's go ahead and turn that on. Require Face ID, I tap on it again. The app icon is still here, but if the camera or if the iPad doesn't recognize me, it is not going to open up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the camera here, and when I do, you're going to see that it won't open. It says Face ID. But when I uncover the camera so it can see my face, when I tap on it, it opens up, and there it is. Now, if you want to unlock it, you just tap and hold on it again, and then you can tap on Don't Require Face ID, and now anyone can open it up. So that's how the lock works. And basically, this works with the app apps. This is how it works with the app apps. Outside of when I go to the Contacts app, as an example, if I tap and hold on this, you can see that I can't hide that one. So not all apps will work the same way. Also, if I go to a third-party app, I'm going to go to Airtable here. So this is a database. I don't want anyone to access that. Well, what I can do is I can also hide this, being that this is a third-party app. So now what I do is I tap and hold on it again. You're going to see Require Face ID. And when I tap on that, I have another option here. I can just lock it, but also what I can do is I can hide and require Face ID. So now when I tap on Hide and Require Face ID, not only is it going to lock it, but it's also going to hide it. I just tap on Hide, and now you can see it is no longer here, but it is in my app library in a hidden folder. So let's go over to my app library and see how this all works. So I swipe over until I get to my app library. Just keep swiping until you get to your app library. You're going to see I'm in my app library here. And then you're going to see hidden here. And you can't see anything that is in that folder. So we can see the folder, but we can't see inside of it. So now if I wanted to open up Airtable, what I would have to do is tap on that. And then it recognizes my face. And now I can see Airtable and I can open it up. If I cover up the camera, let's just go back here and I go over here. You can see that it is hidden again. I can't see Airtable. If I cover up the camera and I tap on it, you're going to see that it does not open up. It can't recognize my face, so it is still just blank here. Now I just uncovered the camera, so then it showed up there. But that's basically how it works. To unhide it, we just tap and hold on it. And then we can say, don't require Face ID. And now it moves it out of that folder, and it is in my app library. What I'm able to do is just go and move this over to any one of my home screens. It doesn't place it back where it was, so you're going to have to place it on the home screen where it was. It just places it back in the app library here, and then you can go and move it. Just tap and hold on the icon itself, not the words, and then you can drag it, and you can place it back where you want. And again, with iOS or iPadOS 18, what we're able to do is place it in a corner here. So those are the three new options that we have with apps on the iPad with iPadOS 18. We can basically place our icons anywhere we want. We can also resize them just by dragging them, or when we long press with the contextual menu, you can turn it into a widget. And then we can also lock and hide apps. Lock and hide apps is a little bit tricky yet. It seems like it depends on which app you want to lock and hide, the different options that you have. Third-party apps, we can hide it. Apple apps, we can't. And not all Apple apps, we can lock. Just basically tap and hold on it, and you'll be able to see if you can lock it. And when you lock it, you'll also see the option to hide it if it is available. So those are the three options we have, or the three new main features that we have with the home screen on the iPad with iPadOS 18. None of this has anything to do with Apple Intelligence. So if you're not using Apple Intelligence, you're still going to be able to use these features here. This has nothing to do with Apple Intelligence. So that's what's new with the home screen on the iPad with iPadOS 18. Now, if you're still here and you found the video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You could share the video. You could even subscribe to my channel. It all helps. Also, what you may want to do is take a look at my site, danstutorials.com. I do have over 400 videos on YouTube, but I have over 2,100 videos on my site. I've been doing my site a lot longer than I have my YouTube channel. So there's a lot more videos on my site, danstutorials.com. And you can basically access them all for free, but they do all have ads. So how can you help support my site? By becoming a member. When you become a member of my site, what I do is I remove all of the ads on the videos. You also have access to my webinars and classes. I hold webinars and classes on a regular basis. And I created an AI assistant that is modeled after an Apple genius. So if you have a question, what you can do is go to the site and ask my AI assistant, and in a lot of cases, it'll be able to help you out. And all that is included with a membership to my site. In addition to that, you are helping support a small business. It's just me in a corner office in my house, so when you become a member, you are helping support a very small business. So if you like the video, take a look at Dan's Tutorials, and thanks for watching.